Found out about my wife's affair after both APs have died. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. Trigger warning, mentions of sexual abuse. Found out many years later, after both APs had died, that my fiancé at the time had a physical relationship with my best man and my father. My friend had manipulated her into giving him hand jobs 3 to 4 times a week the entire time I was overseas and slept with her in our bed the first few months we were married. For my father, my fiancé would sleep at my parents' house on weekends. Mom and siblings went to church on Sundays. One morning my father came to her in my bed crying about how it had been so long since he had performed oral sex on a young girl. I now believe he had molested my younger sister too from things I learned later, and he wanted to show her something special. Supposedly she did not have to reciprocate in any way. As I mentioned, I did not learn of these incidents until both of these men had died. Her abilities in performing oral sex on me led me to feel later that she had learned her skills from one or both of them. And that they had both groomed her into becoming a nymphomaniac, since for the next 25 years she would fuck anything, man or woman, that she could. 36 DD breasts would get her any boy or girl she wanted. Next I learned she was apparently bi also, since she slept with a couple we were friends with in her first threesome. She was also sleeping with the entire closing crew in the grocery store she worked in, including going to another store nearby that her manager ran. This was another 6 to 7 men and 2 women too. Gang bangs in the store's back room. I didn't know what a cuckold was, but I was one, just sloppy seconds. During this time in my life I was suffering from PTSD and thought this was how life was supposed to be. I loved her and she seemed to love me, so I accepted that this was my life now. She apologized from the beginning and I loved her so much I forgave everything. I knew she had mental issues and I really believed she couldn't help herself. We were married for 35 years. In the last few years she had a complete nervous breakdown and tried suicide twice, and spent years in therapy and received ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, then the cancer came twice. I am 70 years old and have lived with this for nearly 50 years. Still seeing a shrink at the VA for PTSD and depression. Not looking for help, but sharing seems to help. She died from cancer 14 years ago. Here is the second story. A year ago my then fiancé cheated on me. My wife, 34F, and I, 32 meters, started dating about 2.5 years ago, we got engaged almost 2 years ago, and we got married approximately 6 months ago. This month, 1 year ago, my wife, fiancé at the time, cheated on me. I found out by accident. We both have access to each other's phones, computers, etc. So one day I borrowed her laptop to look up a household product that she had previously Googled so that I could purchase it, and while looking through the search history I noticed that a week prior she had Googled hotels near her job, and Google even showed me that she called one of the hotels. My heart dropped when I saw this information, but I told myself that I didn't know the whole story. Maybe she was extremely tired and just wanted to get a room to take a nap or something. So that night as we got into bed I asked her if she loved me and she said of course. Then I asked her if she had ever cheated on me and she asked me why would I ask her something like that. My heart sank again. I told her that I was just wondering, and she said, but what would make you wonder that? At this point, instead of confessing, she keeps pressuring me to tell her what I know and then she'll tell me her answer. This tactic made things even worse for me because I know that it means that there's probably even more stuff that I'll never know about now. So I told her that I saw her Google history and she then confessed that she had cheated on me at that time and that she was sorry. She said that there was a guy from her job that said all of the right things, and in addition to that she mentioned how much she likes to perform oral sex and that she and I don't do that often, and when we do I never orgasm from it. She then went on to say that it was only oral sex between the two of them, no intercourse, and that she was going to terminate communication with him immediately. Growing up, I always told myself that if someone cheated on me then I would break up with them immediately, but at this point, I felt so conflicted. I remember thinking at least she didn't try to cover it up more, but I was on a roller coaster of emotions. I was angry, I was sad, at one point I felt like it was my fault, and then at another point, I felt like I should cheat to make things fair, but I didn't. I am a bisexual man, she has known since our third date, and she and I had been going to couples counseling together. There are several things that I would like to explore sexually with her that she has no interest in. So in therapy, we discussed the idea of possibly opening our relationship, just a little. From my side of things, if there was something that she wanted that I was unable to or didn't want to do, she knew that I would be okay with it as long as we discussed it first, but instead, she went behind my back. If I hadn't been looking for this particular product, I probably would have never known about it, and who knows how many times something else like this has happened. For some weird reason, by going behind my back, it made me feel like there was this other man out there that had a power over me. When I found out about this, we had approximately 6 months left until our wedding. We had already made several deposits, and my family and friends were also excited about the whole thing. I decided to forgive her and to go through with the wedding, but my trust was completely broken. At that point, I asked her to make sure she's always sharing her location with me, and I would start looking for things on her phone and on her laptop. I was suspicious if she came home later than expected or wanted to go out for brunch with her girlfriends. But she did a really good job of showing me that she made a mistake and that she wanted to make it right. She called and told her close family what she had done and vowed to never do that again. She told me that I had a free pass if I ever wanted to redeem it, and I told her that I didn't. She told the other guy that what they did was wrong and that she will no longer be communicating with him, and she's genuinely made an effort to rebuild my trust. It has helped a lot, but things still aren't perfect. It's like unfolding a paperclip and then trying to fold it back into its original shape. It looks similar, but now there are small imperfections in it. At random times, dark thoughts run through my head. What if she's still cheating? Why would she cheat on me? Should I get even? But it's getting easier to manage. Here we are 6 months into marriage, and I can say that the future's looking brighter every day, but it is not an easy road to take. Here is the third story. Wife cheated on me while I was deployed to Afghanistan. About 8 months before I deployed to Afghanistan, my wife was texting another man at work. I read the texts and they seemed harmless other than the fact that he was calling her beautiful. She swore up and down they were just friends. While I was in Afghanistan, my wife treated me like shit, would barely talk to me, do mean things to me. I lost 2 friends while I was there, and she knew I was going through a hard time. The entire time I was there, she was sleeping with a coworker. So 3 days after Christmas, she told me she wanted a divorce and she didn't love me. I was destroyed, and this was 2 days after a guy on my team was killed, and she knew. So my unit sent me home to deal with it. I got home and moved out. Lived a single life for a month, and then she decided she wanted me to return and work on our marriage. I came to find out she was buying this man clothes and gifts while I was overseas. She swore up and down it was only a friend. Then one night I told her to tell me the truth and we can start a relationship off of lies, and she told me she was sleeping with him while I was deployed. She's completely changed since she has told me, because she can see that I'm a wreck. I'm so hurt and betrayed, I don't know what to do. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Hang in there, and thank you for your service. Life does get better, and there will be someone out there that will make you glad you are alive. You are a good guy, keep your chin up and know that there are people here you can talk to, me included. Firstly, thank you for all the shit you've done for this country. She obviously doesn't deserve a man like you. She could have been more sorry for that, and especially not tell you after you came back from your deployment. Just leave her. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.